It's a pleasure to be able to talk to you, Curtiss Cook, AKA Otis Perry, AKA Douda, AKA the menace to society himself.
You said the menace to society. Okay. All right.
You feeling okay? I know we're in the new half of the new season now. How are you feeling?
I'm good. I mean, y'all ain't seen the big part of it yet, cause he's there, but he ain't there. Trust you. Even like now, you're probably like, oh my God, if this guy is getting on my nerves, I'm sure everybody's having little palpitations, but that ain't nothing. You gonna have to go get you a respirator. I mean, a clip and shock you to get you up coming up because
That's
he's
the
about to go.
scary part because we've already feel like we've seen so much, but I know Duda always finds a way to take it up a notch, always.
Yeah, yeah.
So, of course, we're going to get into all things the shy today, but I want to rewind a little bit because I mean, you've been doing this for so long now. I mean, you have so many credentials, very long time. I wonder for you, though, was it two separate moments for you when you knew I wanted to be an actor versus I know this is truly my gift? Or did those coincide? Did those
Wow.
moments coincide for you?
No, they. So the answer is there were two separate moments,
Okay.
and dare I say, the gift part is maybe I'm still working towards that. So I'll
Hmm.
explain, and I'll explain.
Okay.
But um, growing up, I always loved singing and dancing, right? And then subsequently acting. Like this is doing elementary to junior high to high school drama, and then I joined this organization called the Muse Machine in high school, where I was performing with large groups of people from all over the state of Dayton and I mean state of Ohio and the city of Dayton, and then went to college, conservatory school in London to also study. Um,
Which you also were the first. Go ahead and drop that in
that's,
there. Don't skip past that. Uh-huh.
that's true. Come on, Vicky. She gonna keep me honest, y'all. So I was the first
Yep.
African American to receive a full scholarship to Mount View Theatre School in London, England, and uh, I still but before I got the scholarship, before I went to school for it, I never really realized that I could be an actor as a living. I grew up in Dayton, like I said. I'm the oldest of five. I felt like, you know what, I'll get a job. I'll join the Navy. I'll come back and I'll join Montgomery County Engineers, and I get me a $40,000 job, and I'm gonna live the best life, you know. And it took this woman, Miss Susie Pisani, and my drama teacher, Miss Patricia Copeland, God rest her soul, that tell me that no, you have talent, you have a lot of talent, um, and you can probably do this for a long time, which subsequently led me to the school. Right, got to New York, started beating the pavement, you know, doing all the jobs that you try to do there, but still not realizing the gift, like you said before. And because, you know, you get so many door slams, you get so many people telling you, yeah, nah, you know. And I was doing this, I got to New York in the early 90s, where at that time, most of the people my age, in the acting world, or the roles for people my age were going to like rappers. They were going to the LL Cool J's at the time, the Busta Rhymes, you know what I mean? The DMX, all of those people were taking those roles that I was like, I can play this guy. They was like, no, you're from London, you're a trained actor, you can never play. I'm like, y'all gonna never give me a chance, you know? So I never really, I knew that I could do it, but the gift, I never, okay, of course it's a gift because God has given it to me, and I enjoy it so much to the point where while I'm doing it, I don't feel like I'm acting, or I don't feel like I'm working, or I don't feel like I'm doing any kind of heavy lifting. I just feel like I'm living, right? And it feels so good. So I guess that's part of the gift. Acknowledging that that gift is special, like even more special. Um, I, I only feel that sometimes when I'm not able to express it. You know what I mean? When I'm not able to do it, and I'm like, something feels lost, something feels off because I'm not, you know, living my gift or my purpose, right? It was a friend of mine, Brian Curry, and we grew up, we was in kindergarten. I remember one day he told me, I think I was coming home from London in the summers, and he said to me, you know what, man? He said, you didn't choose acting. He said, acting chose you. And I would never forget that. I would never forget those words. And we're kids, you know what I mean? We're what 20, 19, 20 years old at the most. And I'm like, yeah, that was some profound stuff, bro. What you out here doing? What you doing? What's that? How you do all this? So, but dare I say, yeah, Has it coincided? I am still at the point where I know that I can do it. I know that I'm not afraid to be in any production, be it Broadway, be it a television show, be it a drama, be it a comedy, be it anywhere. And I know that I will bring my 100% of my true authentic self and my abilities that I've been taught. And you're going to be entertained. Dare I say, at the end of it, you will be entertained because I'm going to show up and show out.
Oh, we are thoroughly entertained, thoroughly.
Thank
But
you.
I mean, yeah, that's amazing that even at that age, like you said, you're young, you're figuring things out, but that somebody saw that in you. So, I mean, that
Mhm.
just speaks to your talent.
Thank you.
But of course, let's get into the shy. I mean, you
Yeah.
got me and my family hooked on this show, hooked on the character. I I have to ask because I heard that you originally auditioned for Darnell. Is that true?
Yes. Can you imagine? Look, what Rolando is doing with that character is amazing. Rolando is killing. He's killing it. And oh man, I think it was probably some NDA or some infringement rights because I still got the tape of my audition. And one
No.
day I'm gonna let
Okay,
that
you
boy.
gotta send it to me after
See,
this.
see, but I know I could get in trouble. I'm like, they'd be like, don't be sending stuff out. Like this was because I don't own it, right? But so I watched it like maybe 2 years ago. I was like, I think I had an interview with somebody and I had mentioned it, and it was like, well, what was it like? And I was like, oh, I don't really remember what it was like, right? So I went back and I watched it. It was, and dare I say, it was a good interpretation. It's nowhere near what Rolando is doing, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
My guy reminded me a little bit of I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm about
Just
to be in
say
so
it.
much
Just say
trouble.
it.
Right. You're like, she like, get it. My character kind of reminded me of like Lawrence Fishburne and Boys in the Hood. You know what I mean? Like
Really?
he wasn't as strict, but he was very strict. Because if you remember when that character came in, it was beautifully written. He came in, he had all those children, right, and all those family members, but he had all of them living together. He was making lunches in the morning, remember? And he was saying, when Emmett came, he's like, you get up in the morning, you take your brothers to school. He was like, he was, organized. He was still on his Bluetooth and he was talking his business and talking trash, but
The
he had all
Bluetooth.
this stuff, right? The Bluetooth. He had all this stuff in order. So I kind of focused on this dude who was able to rally all of his baby mamas together and have this kind of cohesive relationship in this family while doing all this nonsense. And I was like, that's amazing because we don't get to see that, right? You rarely get to see that. So I was like, oh, so I leaned more into that. But the right man got the job. The right man got the job. I dare
Oh,
say
for
the right man
sure.
got the job. He got the job.
Because I literally can't see you outside of Douda now. I mean, it's so crazy because obviously the last half of the season ended with the bang. This one starting off with the bang.
Mm,
How is it that you just keep, like I said, Duda's always taking it up a notch?
mm.
Why? How is it that this character, do you think, has become so polarizing? You always hear this word that Duda is this polarizing character. Why do you think is it that we really hate to love him and love to hate him?
Right. I think that's a testament to the writers, right? It's a testament to
Mhm.
Showtime, Paramount Plus, and the writers in the room and how they created this character. And I think it's also something beautiful about having a Black drama be on the network or be on any network for as long as it has. You get to know them and get to see different sides of them. Because when we first met this dude, right, he he started in a way where it was ambiguous. We knew he was a businessman and we knew he kind of had these dealings. He was the head of the 63rd Street Mob, but we didn't really know, right? And so you got to know him like that. It's like, okay, let me get to know him. And then he ran for mayor. He became mayor. You got to see this other side of him, right? He's like, oh, wait a minute. I'm down with that, how he, defunded the police and what he's standing for. And then after that, he took in Jake. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, he's a strong. So you got to see all these different facets. Oh, and then fell in love with the Tracy character, right? So it's like, wait a minute, does he have a heart? Does this guy? So you get to see. So that's the beauty of time and the creativeness of that writers' room, led by Lena and Justin. Um, uh, and Jewel is also one of the showrunners, executive producer. So that's a huge testament to it, just having the time to develop the character over a certain amount of time, because sometimes we don't get that. We don't, the black actors and actors don't get that opportunity to be able to have that time to develop characters like that. So that's one big thing. And then because of that, when the information comes to me, I make sure I do my due diligence. I read what's on the page and wonder, how can this not just be surface? You know, how can it not just be what we think? Oh, he's bad, so here he comes. He's bad. He did bad things and he left. No, how can it be? No, after he does this bad thing, you're like, well, that boy was chewing gum loud in his face. I mean, that was and he did try to ask him to stop. He tried, but it's Douda trying. It ain't like me trying. I mean, I wouldn't have shot him, but I mean,
Douda had no other option, I guess.
when it's Douda, there's no other option. I mean, when it's him, you know, it's like, know who you talking to, right? Know what park you playing in. Like when he says, like, excuse me, bro, do you mind? And right then you should be like, oh, okay, you know what? Maybe I should just slow up a minute. But no, young kids, I'm gonna dare I say these millennials primarily, maybe there's some Gen Zers, but those millennials be
Gen
like,
Zers, it's not us millennials. We get blamed for everything. Everything. I promise you.
no, it ain't even that loud, bro. It ain't even that loud. It's like, okay, you know, okay, all right, T then. Okay. See you later, buddy. But so that's a lot of it, Vicky, is the fact that he gets to I get to the time to do it, and I make sure I've read everything on the page and everything in the script. You'd be surprised. I go through that whole script like maybe on an average 7 times. 7 to 9 times, and I'm reading everybody else's stuff and everybody, and in my head, I'm imagining how they would do it, how I would have done it, and all of that. So by the time I get back to my section, I would like to believe it's a full life. I get consumed in the work. I get consumed in all of it, and I just try to make sure it's as honest and as real as it possibly can be.
Yeah, I mean, you do a phenomenal job at that. Now, I do want to go back because we mentioned Tracy.
Uh-huh.
Does Douda really still have a chance with Tracy? Because he's not letting up. Does he
He's on it,
actually
right?
have a chance?
What y'all say? How y'all say he's a little thirsty, right? He's
I
like,
mean, he's a little thirsty, a little parched, I'll say.
like, see, and I think that's a testament to how he failed so hard, because I think people were doubting what was it serious for him, right? They were like, what? Because I mean, there's Bianca, who's like most men would be like, bruh, you good. You know what I mean? Hey, Tracy, she's got her thing, you had that thing. Maybe it's time you just say, hey, you know. But I think there was a real true connection there. And it's gonna we're gonna see if he really has an opportunity or a chance with her, because I'm gonna tell you what, he ain't gonna stop trying. He ain't gonna stop trying it
He
till
doesn't seem like the giving up type. So yeah, I
right,
can see that.
right, right. And I think that's what he likes about her too, is that her fight of she's just as strong as he is. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
He's a
for
true
sure.
match. I mean, Rosalind, all the women that he's with are very strong women. Let's just say that they're not any pushovers. Rosalind is definitely not a pushover by any means. Played by Candy, and Bianca, played by Jill Marie Jones, is also. Then they're strong women. So I think there's something about that Tracy character that she reminds him of where he comes from, right? And so just he's like, oh, I love that, and I want to reconnect to that. And let's see if she gives in. Let's see.
We'll see. But I mean, clearly, Duda has problems clearly with Tracy, with
Mm.
with Rob, with Rob's mom, with Emmett, with Victor. I mean, the list goes on and on. Duda has problems
Wait a
with
minute, hold on,
everybody.
wait a minute. So let me say this, Vic. Does Duda have problems with them, or do they have a problem with
See,
Duda?
this is something Duda would say. You're trying to get me. This is something Duda would say.
No,
But
look, no. I'm pleading his case right now. I'm pleading
okay,
Duda's
okay,
case.
go
Look,
ahead.
Duda is only. You said okay. Go
See,
ahead.
you can't even get it out.
No. Duda's about the day-to-day business
Yeah.
of running a business. His life is a business. The reason why Q is dead is because Q was getting in the way of the business. It was no personal thing. The reason why Duda is now messing with Emmett is clearly for business. And I dare say, what Duda told him he would have when he get in business with him, Emmett has received all of that. Douda has never, it would be different if Douda did all that and he'd be like, now I'm coming in here and I'm taking your restaurant. I want you to mop the floors and I want you to come in here and drive my car. Douda's like, no, here's all this money and here's your restaurant and I'm just going to do what I do. I don't even need to be friends. But then all of a sudden it's like, nah, I don't want to do this no more. I don't want your money no more. It's like, what? Why? What happened? Did I hit you? Did I yell? Nah, I don't want it no more, man. Take your money. Okay, no, because now we're in business and I need this money and I need you. But, and so, and the same with Alicia. Alicia's like, oh, you killed my brother. You killed, your brother raped the girl I'm in love with when she was a kid, and now he started stealing money out of the place that we're trying. I didn't go after your brother being like, hey, I'm coming to kill you because I don't like your shoes. I said, I see, now you done got me, Vicky.
See?
Do that.
See?
So I'm just saying, if you go through all of that, even Victor, Trig, now he's want to be Victor. That's a whole other thing. But do that. But we're gonna leave that alone right now. But even Trig is like, look, okay, you want your brother, you come in here, you come, you get your brother back. I understand that. You know what? Take your brother. You're right. He should be with family. But listen, at the end of that season, he's like, I want you to come work for me. Victor says, yeah. So he comes and starts working for him. Then all of a sudden, it's like, yeah, dude is bad. It's like, what? And then so he's like, okay, forget it. And he's like, I want to run for office. Like, I need you to help me. Dude is like, all right, there are terms. I need you to listen and do what I say. I can get you in the office. Okay, I'm gonna do it. Man, I don't want him to help me. It's like, what? I do.
You know what? The way you're putting it almost makes you feel like
Come
Douda
on.
may not be.
Look, there's no lies being told. I'm not making anything up. Anybody if you there, it's going to be hard pressed to find any time that dude has gone out of character and just did some messed up stuff for messed up stuff's sake. He's not messy like that. He's like, if you come over here and you chewing gum too loud and he asks you to stop, you're going to get in
The
trouble.
only alternative is that. I mean, what do you expect me to do? I tried.
What do you expect? I said, please. I said, please.
You know what? The way you put it, I'll give you those points. I'm gonna put some points on the board for Douda. But you know, at one point, Victor even goes on to say something like, you know, Douda was dead, all of our problems will be gone. Do you think it's true?
No, because once again, I don't feel like he's your problem. I don't think it's kind of like not exactly like, but it's almost like children growing up in your house, right? It's so bad here. It's so bad here. I gotta clean the kitchen. I gotta do this or whatever. If I didn't have to do any of this, my life would be perfect. Okay, millennial. Once you get out,
See, there you go. There you go. Now I see why Douda has so many problems.
But no, but once you get out and you're not under your parents' roof, and then you have to start, you like, oh my goodness. Wow. Oh, I have to, and I feel like that's probably could be the case. It's like if we get rid of him, there'll be no more problems. And you get rid of him, it's like, okay, where is this going to come from? Where is this? What he serves a purpose. All villains in general, I mean, just like any Shakespearean play or whatever, there needs to be a yin to a yang, right? And the thing I loved about the Douda character is that once again, he wasn't just bad for bad's sake. There was purpose and reasoning behind it. I actually honestly believe that he cares and cares about the city of Chicago and loves the city of Chicago. I honestly believes he does. But sometimes our way of thinking is developed how it's developed, and so how we handle things are not always right. Dare I say they come from his environment and what he was taught. He's not afraid to learn, but that still is part of who and what he is.
Yeah, he still has his own certain way of doing things. We'll say that. Now, how do you go about separating Curtiss and Douda? Because, even sitting here now, we're laughing, we're talking. I know this is Curtiss, but I'm still like, I'm a little nervous. This is Douda. So how do you go
No.
about separating that? Because, I'm sure it somewhat takes a toll of jumping into and out of this character that you execute so well.
Yeah, it does take a toll. It has taken a toll. How do I? the hardest part about the character for me is making sure that he's reachable, right? Like it's some so that I don't have to start from ground one, kind of building up the energy, the anger, the frustration, that it's surface enough level that when it's time to turn him on, he's there. You know, because as actors, we consume so much information on a daily, right? Even like looking at your face, looking at your posture, looking at, you know, how you speak and how you move your hands, all of that, I'm logging it in, right? And so as you read and as you know, travel and all that, so from the acting point of view, all of our acting comes from inward out. So all of that has to be there somewhere, right? Inside of you. Uh, the thing that became difficult for me doing this character is that we talked about the journey in which he had. As we get to the end of season 4 into 5, he began to become darker and darker, right? And that release of like love or doing something semi good or whatever was becoming less and less. So keeping that somewhere close was becoming more and more difficult. Um, and then even having individuals like yourself saying, you know what, when they see me, oh, you can feel the withdrawal. Me, Curtiss, I'm silly, you know, I'm whatever. And it's like, what? And so that started to kind of place like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, they don't know me, so they think that that's part of who and what, you know what I mean? And I get it. So that started to play so what eventually started to begin to happen during therapy and whatever and whatnot, I I got me a support animal, um, for not only for the role because of the role, but like I have 5 children. My 2 youngest children, they're the twins. They're twins. They were left for school, so my wife and I we became empty nesters. And this is like all like pandemic happens, they get grown, they leave the house, dude is getting more evil. Like all of this stuff is like all starting to happen. And you would think that once you became a empty nester, it just, you know, I'm old, but I ain't that old. You know, I'm still out here trying to live our lives. Me and my wife, we still trying to do our thing. You know,
You
it
look
ain't like we
good.
right, it ain't like we 99 years old talking about how where we gonna go now. But you know, but but when that happens, no one really prepares you for the psychological change and the energy that does to you. Um, uh, so so all of that stuff began to take its toll, and pushing Douda to the side and trying to get back to Curtiss became a little more difficult. It became a little more difficult. And now what I have to do is I literally have to shut him off. I really have to not really watch TV or watch the show or whatever. I have to just kind of start living Curtiss's life again and how Curtiss would do things or whatever and try to live there because I don't have to remind myself of Douda. A lot of people already remind me of him for me. So it's like, okay, so I don't need to hold it as tight as I do because when I walk out, they're like, oh, dude, I was just on a plane flying back from dating the other day, and one of the airline workers, I don't know what you call them anymore. They're not stewardess anymore. They're called airline
Flight
attendant,
attendants?
flight attendants. See,
Okay.
uh, see, I'm old.
Listen, I'm just throwing that out there. I don't know either.
So what are we gonna say flight attendant? Because
Yeah,
that sounds crazy.
we don't want to offend anybody. I'm just
Anybody?
throwing that out
No,
there. We
no,
love everybody.
everybody say it. And it was like, oh my God. And they froze. And she was like, and she was like, can I get you something? And she just froze. And I'm like, okay. So I'm waiting because the worst thing is to be like, hey, how you doing? I'm Curtis. And she's thinking about something that ain't got nothing to do with you, right? And so you're like,
Making sure
oh,
she's not chewing her gum too loud.
right. Or I'm thinking that she thinks she sees somebody. She's like, I don't know who you are, what you are, but I'm on something else. And I'm all like, oh, okay, yeah. Can I get a water, please? No ice, you know, or something like that. But she saw Douda and she was like, oh my God. And she started to shake and she's like, I love what you do, and I'm not supposed to ask this, blah, 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 blah. Can I get and all of that began to happen. So all this to say is that in the normal course of a day, I am reminded of who and what he is. So I don't have to hold it so close and dear in order to portray him. So I just kind of cut him off, move through. You'll see me. A lot of times I don't feel like I like now I done cut my beard off. I done cut off, you know what I mean? I'm trying to be like, it's no, I ain't. You know what I mean?
Incognito.
So So yeah, so that's some of the things that I do, and you know, and try to exercise as much as possible and eat as right as much as possible, because all of those things takes my focus away from the wonderful work that I get to do on the shine.
I love that. And I love how also the shy really particularly in the past couple seasons and even specifically now, focus on mental health and particularly men's mental health, with these
Mhm.
healing circles and just centering the conversation around that. How important do you think that is, to kind of bring that to the forefront? Because we hear it talked about it more now, but it's still something that's kind of like people shy away from, especially in the Black community.
And that's unfortunate if they do. And dare I say, I think that because, like you're saying, you hear more and more about it now than we used to. I think that they aren't shying away from it as much as they used to. So that's a beautiful thing. I think it's very important. I think it's very intelligent, and I think it's intelligent writing and entertainment watching, because I think that one of the best ways we can get any information is through entertainment, right? That's, art imitating life, life imitating art, just bringing it all out to the forefront. And any way that we can continue to remind, especially young Black men, that there's no problem in saying that I need help, and be it with your friends. Dare I say, we need to be careful who we tell our issues and our problems to, right? We can't just tell them to anybody. So it really needs to be a close circle of individuals, and dare I say, a professional needs to be in the room. Like, if your car breaks down and you spent all your money to get that thing the way you want it to go, you're not going to just go to, Jamal down the street who said, I've been working on cars for a couple of days and I can help you out. You'd be like, okay, bro, you know what I mean? You're gonna go to somebody that knows how to repair your car correctly, right? And that's the same way I think for mental health. I think that we also need a professional, somebody who's trained to understand how to continue the conversation in a positive way, try to get to the root of the issue as close as possible, and then give some tools in how to begin to heal yourself, or to work on yourself. You know what I mean? Because that's important. So I think it's very responsible, and I think it's a good way to bring to the forefront that it's okay to say I'm not okay. It's okay to say, you know what, I need help, especially sometimes as young Black men, or even older Black men. You feel like, who's listening, who cares, and just figure it out. And sometimes we can do that to the point where we shut down, we break down. Um, and then it's harder to rebuild. And if you're at that place now where you feel like you've broken down, know that there's still time. Conversation, like a church, a loved one, a close family member, or a close friend, just having somebody to just say, look, man, I am not feeling well. Do you mind? Like, you want to go run? You want to go to the game or whatever? Trust. As soon as you begin to ask and release that information or whatever it is, there's a weight that gets lifted off of your shoulders, even if it's for a small amount of time. And trust, once you feel that, you want more of it. So finding an individual, I found a therapist, and it's a process. It's arduous. It's not easy. You just can't click on like I do mine by Zoom. You can't just click on the camera and then find this person that's expect they're going to be like, hey, yeah, and you also blah, 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 and it's the answer. Y'all might not gel. You know what I mean? It might not be cool. And you be like, thank you very much. I think I'm just going to continue to search and try to find somebody, because it's a relationship, like any relationship, and it's going to take a minute. But once you do and you find that individual, it can be, and it has been, life-changing, dare I say.
Mm, I love that. It's
Yeah.
okay to say you are not okay. That's such a big
Mhm.
thing. But I
Mhm.
love that you guys are a part of the conversation. I do wanted to hop into a couple of rapid fire questions before I
Okay.
let you go here. Okay,
Wait a
so
minute, but Vicky, why didn't they let Douda into that little circle? See, that's the
because
problem.
Duda would have killed everybody at the circle, and we're trying to heal, trying to heal, not hurt.
Ah, oh, goodness gracious. Okay.
Okay, so I gotta ask. Okay, so who's most likely to be early to set?
Hmm. Between who? Okay, you gonna give me some people? I just got to name
I don't
people.
want you to just who is the person that everybody thinks of like we know he or she is going to be early or on time.
It's gonna be me. I'm gonna be the one that's gonna be early all the
I can
time.
see that. I can see
Yeah,
that.
and they'd be
Okay,
like, "Oh my God,
on the
he's
flip
here
side of
already."
that, who's going to be
Mhm.
late?
Oh, you trying to be.
Go ahead and tell
There's
us.
a, oh, there's a few of them, but I'm gonna say it, bruh. I'm gonna say it, bruh. I love you, bruh. But with your little singing self. You know,
Jacob.
with your singing self, with your
See?
singing self.
Okay.
Singing that Jacob can sing, but somebody can
Not
sing.
Luke.
I'm just saying, somebody can sing, and they be singing instead of being on time sometimes. That's
Not
all I'm
our
gonna say.
boy Luke.
That's what I'm gonna say. That's what I'm gonna say, Vicky. But
Okay. Okay. Now, who's most likely to have everybody cracking up on set, cracking up laughing?
oh, I say this. That's Jacob.
Yeah.
Jacob definitely have he does these impersonations sometimes. He has you rolling in stitches. Yeah, Jacob. That's Jacob. Jacob's gonna have you die laughing. Yes.
All right. Okay. Now, who is Douda most likely to kill next?
Ah,
I threw that in there.
woo. Uh, the person who steps on his shoes.
Mm. Even when you said that, I got scared. I'm moving away. I'm moving.
Right. Yeah. The person that gets in the way. That's who it's gonna be.
It's all
The
about
one
the
that gets in the
business,
way.
nothing personal.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
You know what?
Mm-hmm.
I just have to say thank you so much for taking the time out to do this today. I am such a huge fan. This was an honor to get to know the Curtiss side, even though we know the Douda side so well. He's a little
Mm-hmm.
scary, but Curtiss is the fun guy.
Just corny. Just corny. Just old and corny.
Thank you so much.
Of
We look
course.
forward to the rest of this season. Congratulations on being renewed for season 7 as
Yes,
well.
yes. Mm.
Anything else we need to look for coming from you?
Oh yeah, there's a movie that's we shot a while back that's going to drop soon. It's called Carry On. It's about the TSA. It's you can look it up, folks, and find out who's in it. It's a lot of big stars, and it's a big movie. Steven Spielberg company and Netflix produces it. Um, so they could announce it tomorrow, and I'd be like, "Huh? You're doing it? Doing when?" But
Then we'll be right back on here tomorrow.
right, right. So that's pretty happening soon, and then there's a couple other things that are in the works. So keep an eye out, Curtiss.
All right.
I ain't gonna sit down for too long. I ain't gonna sit down.
We know we'll be posted. We'll be tuned in. Thank you so much again, Curtiss. I hope you have a
Yes.
wonderful rest of your day, and we look forward to the rest of the season for The Shy.
Thank you. Appreciate you, Vicky.
All
Look,
right, you have a good
and
one.
get the T-shirt in there too. Look at that. Each one
Okay,
teach one.
each one teach
Brotherhood.
one, brother. I
Come on,
love
come
that.
through.
Now we
Come
just
on,
got to
come
make a
through.
sisterhood one in pink.
Oh, see, you're right. You're right. Leave it to the millennials. They keep straight. They
Listen, I would
line
take
you
that
up.
10% too.
Ah, love, sis. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Curtiss. I
Have a
appreciate
good
it.
one.
Have a good
You
one.